Hello, Cancer, and welcome to this, your May 1st through May 15th reading. We're going to look at predictions, influential energies, see what's going on for you, Cancer. This is a general reading for anybody born under the sign of Cancer, as well as anybody who has a significant amount of Cancer in their charts. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. For those of you who are new here, the way I work is I pull all of the cards and I do leave them face down until I'm actually ready to begin reading them. I find that this gives the reading a little bit more oomph because it allows for the psychic and the intuitive insights to flow in rather than being influenced by the upcoming cards. Also, you will notice my background has changed. I am in a temporary location while my son and I are in the process of moving and shuffling our lifestyle. So it is what it is. Hopefully the internet will hold up where I am because I am out in the country. So you might also hear a few unusual noises. All right, Cancer. Let me tap into your energy and we're going to pull a card for where you are at now here as I'm recording. Wow. As I'm recording this video, that card did not come all the way out. It is the end of April 2023 with the intention of covering the time period between May 1st and May 15th, 2023. If you're curious about timing of videos and why sometimes psychic videos and psychic predictions don't always add up, one of these cards is inverted. So, yeah. If you're curious about psychic predictions and the timing and why the timing sometimes doesn't always line up, check out my video made specifically for Cancers for the time period between April 1st and April 15th. And I go into a significant amount of detail in that video right near the beginning about why sometimes timings for these types of readings don't always add up. All right. Next cards that we're going to pull is what are you focusing on? What is the focus? Okay, we do have a card that came out that flipped so that it will be in the reverse position. Not sure if we'll actually read it that way. It depends on the cards that are surrounding it. We'll see. Okay. All right, the next cards that we're going to pull for you, Cancer, are cards of difficult influences. Where are we going? I'm getting pulled in two different directions here. Kindly narrow it down. Which direction am I going? Okay. Over here to my Cheater Tarot deck. All right, difficult influences for Cancer. We have one card out. Is there anything else? Difficult influences? Whoa, we've got cards flying all over the place. And just a pile more. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the first card out, I'm going to select that card. I'm going to collect up these other cards that have come out and give them a shuffle because I'm quite convinced that you do not have 10 difficult influences. That would be unfortunate, Cancer. So let's see if there's one or two more cards that want to flip out here. If not, we will go about selecting your card a slightly different way. Difficult influences for Cancer. Is there anything else besides the original card? Oh, and that one's on the floor, but there is definitely just one more card for you. Excuse me for just a moment while I pick your card up. Okay, that was unfortunate. Okay, the next card that I'm going to pick for you, Cancer, is the card that represents This Makes Sense. And for those of you who are new here, the This Makes Sense card is a card that generally either has an identical meaning to another card in your reading, reinforcing the meaning of that card, or it's a card that helps to kind of pull things together. At times, the first few cards we turn over may seem like they're really, really scattered and there isn't a lot of continuity. But once we turn over the This Makes Sense card, it ties everything together suddenly. So that's the purpose behind this card. There's two meanings behind it. Let's have a look at This Makes Sense. Definitely coming over here to the Sacred Traveler. This makes sense for Cancer. Okay, we'll go through the cards one more time. Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to add to this? Yeah, there we go. All right, so we do have two cards out here for you, Cancer. Or actually, there's three. There was two of them stuck together there. Okay, now we're going to look at unexpected influences and insights. What is unexpected? Where are we going here? Come on, guys. It's between these two. I'm getting pulled in that direction. Nope, it's this one. As soon as I picked it up, it said no. All right. Unexpected influences and insights. Anything else? Yeah. All right. And the final cards that we're going to pull for you, Cancer, I'm already getting pulled towards this Osho Zen deck, are the cards of the general overall outcome. And what these cards are doing is predicting and projecting the energies and where you're going to be at come the middle of May, the 15th, right in and around the 15th. General overall outcome for Cancer, May 15th, approximately. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have a number of cards that jumped out for you, as well as one more. There we go. Okay, Cancer. What do we have for you? We have the 10 of Winter, also known as the 10 of Swords. We have the 9 of Autumn, also known as the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the Prince of Summer, also known as the Prince of Cups. Let's read each of these individually. And this is where you're at now here as I'm doing this reading at the end of April. So the 10 of Winter, also known as the 10 of Swords, is a card of resolution, is a card wherein some difficulties or some issues that you've been experiencing are beginning to resolve themselves. It's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel card for you. So this is where you are at now. You have the 9 of Autumn. This is a card of rewarding yourself. This is actually a really positive card. Now, the 9 of Autumn corresponds to the 9 of Pentacles. Pentacles refer to money and career. And so this is a card of, rewarding yourself for a job well done when you complete a good day's work. If you're self-employed, making sure, if you are self-employed, making sure that you are paying yourself what you are worth. A lot of us who are self-employed don't do that. And the other meaning behind this card, you'll notice that it's one of the cards from the fairy deck where the fairy is very much alone and doing alone time things. So this is also about making sure that you are taking time for yourself in your busy work week. And the Prince of Summer is a little bit flirtatious, spontaneous, but this is about relationships. It can indicate a new relationship coming in, possibly being swept off your feet. It's about an emotional experience coming in, but an emotional experience on the positive side of things, Cancer, not a negative emotional experience. So overall, where you're at, with having three separate suits coming up like this, you've got the autumn, the winter, and the summer coming up. The only one not represented here is the suit of wands, also known as the suit of spring from the fairy tarot. And what this is telling me is that right now, the suit of wands is corresponding to the element of fire, which is about taking action, moving forward at a rapid rate. These other cards are cards not necessarily about inaction, but these cards are more about things that are happening and they're just kind of occurring as opposed to you going out and pounding the pavement, so to speak. So you're in a good place right now. Watch for the potential to be swept off your feet, potentially by somebody romantic, if that's what you are seeking. Or perhaps if you are already in a relationship, this card can indicate that your partner is going to do something special for you. Resolution of difficulties, there's a weight being lifted off your shoulders. And the Nine of Autumn, make sure that, like I said, you're rewarding yourself, self-care. All right. Focus. There's a very loud vehicle going by on the gravel road behind me. I hope that the microphone didn't pick up too much of that. All right, what are you focusing on right now, Cancer? The Six of Wands, known as success. This is a card of moving forward. Remember, I said that the wands was represented by fire. That's why it's red down here on the bottom of this card. And this is a card of making sure that you are taking the necessary steps towards the success that you are working towards manifesting. Okay. These two cards, courage and success, are in your category or in the area of your reading of this is what you are focusing on or concentrating on. So you are focusing on manifesting more success in your life, which is wonderful and awesome. And you are going to require some courage in order to be able to move forward at this time, Cancer. This is a card of, it's not a card of being unable to manifest, but it is a card of saying that, so at some point in time, a little seed has fallen into all of these cracks in the rocks. And then the seed had to struggle to get water and to push its way up through the crack, and then to get enough sunlight to actually grow into this beautiful flower. Okay. So this is a card of knowing that in order to achieve this success, there is some courage and hard work that goes into it. And given that these two cards came out together in your focus, Cancer, this is really, really positive, because a lot of people just work on manifesting this and this alone without realizing the work and the hard work and the courage and the efforts that need to be put into achieving this. The fact that you got these two together, to me anyway, is really, really positive, because if you recognize that you need to put the hard work in, you will be able to achieve this. You'll be able to achieve this success. So between May 1st and May 15th, absolutely be working towards manifesting your dreams, but recognize you have to put in the steps. There's physical steps that you have to take. It's not just going to happen on its own. All right, you have the Three of Wands in reverse in your difficult influences. You also have the Page of Pentacles coming up. Interesting. Which oh, you've got the Nine of Pentacles over here. So you've got the Page of Pentacles coming up as well, with regards to difficult influences. So Three of Wands, why did you get the Three of Wands here in your difficult influences? I might pull a clarifier for this card, because the Three of Wands is reversed here. And what the Three of Wands in reverse is saying is that you're doing a lot of the work that you need to be doing, but you're doing it internally instead of externally. And when you're doing it internally, this is not going to happen. Okay. That may be why it's a difficult influence. Now, the reality is that we do have to do internal work before we can actually achieve this. We have to work on ourselves. We have to make improvements to ourselves. But when it's in our difficult influences, it's telling you, you need to start doing the work on the outside as well as the inside, doing the work in the physical real world. You also have the Page of Pentacles in the upright in your difficult influences. And this card is telling me that as much as you're being goal oriented right now, money can't be the only reason why you're goal oriented. Okay. There has to be more to this success that you're working on manifesting right now, Cancer. Your success cannot just solely 100% be about the money in the paycheck. That's what this card is telling you. Okay. The success has to also be about you and about, that's why, light bulb. Okay. That's why you got this card in reverse instead of upright. Okay. If the manifestation of success for you is solely about the paycheck and solely about the financial gains, okay, you're not going to be satisfied. And that's the internal work that you have to do, is that you have to be satisfied and happy with the work or job or career, whatever it is that you're doing, that's going to work towards this success that you are focusing on. You have to get out of the money only orientation that's in your mind that I'm picking up on, Cancer. Okay. It's fine to have a goal in mind, to want to earn X number of dollars within the next several months. But if that's your only goal, then it will be soul sucking for you. There will be nothing left of you personally and internally if that's your sole focus. Okay. What's coming up for me is that, Cancer, if you want to have this success, then you have to do something that you love doing. And then it's not going to seem like work. And then the money is just going to come. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Makes sense. Yes. Miracles. Yep. That's definitely what you are trying to achieve. Okay. Okay. Remember what I said when I pulled these cards that just make sense, that the just make sense cards will likely be identical in meaning to another card that is in your reading. Remember this card that's in your focus? You're focusing on courage, knowing that you have to do the work. You have valiant courage here. Take action with passion. Okay. You've got the double confirmation here that there is work for you to be done. Okay. You need to be proactive in what you're doing. You need to be stepping forward with courage. The other thing is that this card says, take action with passion. Okay. If your sole purpose is money, 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 and you really don't care what you're doing, so long as you're making the money, it, like I said, it will be soul sucking for you, and there will be no passion. And if there's no passion in what you're doing, eventually there'll be no more money as well. Okay. It becomes a vicious circle for you, Cancer. So between May 1st and May 15th, this is what's coming up, that you need to make sure that you're passionate about what you want to do and that you act valiantly and with courage. The other card that you have coming in your This Makes Sense is you're at an impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. So the reason I'm going, and being a little bit of a smartass about it is, if your focus is solely about money, if your focus is only on the dollars, and you really aren't doing the internal work to make sure that you're going to be passionate about what you do, you will eventually reach this impasse. Okay. So what the cards are telling me, what the reading is telling me, Cancer, is that your concentration and focus for May 1st through the 15th is great and wonderful and amazing, that you want to achieve success, but make sure you're achieving success for the right reasons. Unexpected, beauty, and rainbows. Again, this card corresponds to the wondrous, miraculous miracles that you are working towards manifesting. This card is telling me that it's unexpected and you are going to find beauty in what it is that you do. Whatever it is you decide to do, that you're going to take action towards, that you're going to be courageous about, it will turn out beautifully. There will be sunshine and rainbows and mountains and unicorns and all that stuff. But you're going to have to do the internal work to make sure that you're doing something that you're passionate about and not doing something solely for the dollar signs. General overall outcome for you. Yeah, this makes sense. All right. You have new vision card coming up. Yes, definitely by the middle of the month, you will be acting with new vision. You'll be stepping forward because you're going to recognize that if you don't act with integrity with regards to the success you're working towards achieving, you're going to end up getting this instead. And this says exhaustion. Okay. You want to work smarter, not harder. Okay. Find something that you love. And you know what? That might be something that is out of the ordinary for you, Cancer. This is a card of stepping outside the box. This is a card of not doing the same old, same old. And what I want to say is that for some of you Cancerians that are out there, what's coming up is that there's potentially a career change coming up for you guys, or a shift in job work, shift in mindset with regards to what it is that you're doing. And there's a good possibility that for some of you, what you're going to be stepping into is something that is not conventional, not something that would be expected. Now, I'm not talking about being the complete rebel and stepping into something that is immoral, but I am saying, like, for example, I don't know, take for example a person that goes into the medical field and they decide that they're going to be a doctor. Why do they want to be a doctor? Because they can make lots of money. They don't care about their patient. They're not passionate about what it is that they do, but they went into it because their parents wanted them to become a doctor or a lawyer so that they could make lots of money. And it had nothing to do with the clients or patients that the doctor or lawyer were going to serve. It had only to do with the money. But what the individual person's real passion was acting or singing or dancing or painting or, something different, where they can still make money at it. They can still have a very lucrative career doing it, but it's off the beaten path. That's what this card is talking about for you. And that's what I've been talking about for you, Cancer. All of these cards are pointing to an outcome where you're going to do something that's going to make people go, huh? Really? And yet, because you're going to be passionate about it, you'll be successful at it. Why? Because the last two cards in your reading is the Ace of Swords, which is you awakening to this realization. It's your consciousness waking up to the realization that when you do something you love and you're passionate about, you are the creator of your reality. And the creator is the King of Wands from this particular deck. This is the card that tells you you can have anything you want when you are conscious and aware of what it is that you want. And you get really, really clear on that. And sometimes that means that you need to step outside the box and do something different, Cancer. So exciting times coming up for you here in the middle of May. There's going to be I think that there's going to be a bit of an awakening. And I think that initially the success that you've been focusing on was, the doctor or the lawyer only because of the paycheck. And I think that you're going to wake up to this realization that the doctor or lawyer viewpoint is just going to leave you exhausted, and you're going to go, hey, wait a minute, I'm passionate about something that is different. I'm going to go in a different direction. There's going to be a new beginning for you, and you will create what you want. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for being here again at the beginning of May. And I look forward to seeing you again in mid-May when I do the next reading for you. Thank you.